Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. Today we're checking out the Studio D Chorus from Universal Audio. Let's get started. Now this is a plugin that's based on a vintage hardware modulation processor from Roland that came out in the late 70s called the Dimension D. The Dimension D was actually an analog modulation processor, and it excelled at wide, rich stereo effects without a ton of syrupy modulation in them, if you will. Now the Dimension D could also be set up so it did do really heavy modulation, real washy sounds, but the classic effect is that stereo widening. And you've heard it a million times on recordings by Stevie Ray Vaughan, Brian Eno, and many others. With the Studio D Chorus, Universal Audio has really gone to extensive lengths to duplicate that original hardware just as perfectly as possible. It not only looks the same, of course, but it sounds the same as well and has the same features also, as we'll see. Now the big news is the Studio D Chorus is now available as a native plugin. That means you no longer need an Apollo audio interface or a satellite DSP accelerator to use it. You can use it with any audio interface. I've got an SSL12 here from Solid State Logic. You could also use it at any DAW, of course. The other big news is you can now purchase the Studio D Chorus as a separate plugin. You no longer have to buy a bundle to get it. You can buy it individually from Sweetwater.com. So let's take a tour. I'm going to open it up here. I've got it on an acoustic guitar. We'll turn it on in Studio One. Let's go ahead and bypass the effect. I'm going to put my headphones on so I can listen along with you. Let's begin by listening to our dry acoustic guitar track. Now, as you can see, we have a very simple user interface here. We have a bypass button and we have 4 different settings. Now the cool thing is we can combine those settings to get different effects, but we'll start on setting number 1. Again, here's our dry guitar. Here's with the effect. And here's our dry guitar again. You can hear as I move through the 4 different settings that the modulation is getting deeper and more obvious, but the stereo effect is still there no matter what setting you're on. Now we can also combine settings by shift clicking, so we can choose 1 and 2 together. We can even engage all 4 buttons if we want. Bypass. So there are a wide range of different stereo widths and modulation effects that you can generate using this very simple user interface. Now we have presets as well. So we have 80s vocal chorus, all buttons mono, all buttons stereo. Let's try that one. So that's the effect on an acoustic guitar. Let's mute that track, and let's hear what it sounds like on a synth bass. We'll bypass. It really has a dramatic effect on that synth bass. Now let's try the Studio D Chorus on a more melodic synth part. Here's our dry synth. And with the Studio D Chorus engaged, So you can hear we can have both subtle stereo widening as well as more modulated stereo widening. Now we'll listen with a synth pad sound. Here's our dry sound. It's already stereo, but there's not a lot of motion there. It's a little bit flat. So let's listen to that again, this time with the Studio D Chorus engaged. The stereo's even wider, and there's a lot of nice motion within that pad sound. Now let's try the Studio D Chorus on background vocals. Now again, this is a stereo recording already, but there's not going to be a lot of motion there. Here's the dry sound. Now let's listen to it again with sort of a subtle Studio D Chorus effect. What I like about that is it widens the stereo image, but it also sort of creates a hole in the middle that's going to help that lead vocal sit very nicely in the mix. Let's try another preset. We'll scroll down here. Background vocal stereo. Let's try this one. Here's our dry sound. And here is with the Dimension D engaged. That's a great effect. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Studio D Chorus plugin from Universal Audio. It's now available as a native plugin. You no longer have to use an Apollo or a satellite. Works with any audio interface, and you can buy it individually at Sweetwater.com. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater.